given this line, given y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2, I want you to find me a new line that, you guys want to find perpendicular? That's the most fun one. Okay, that is perpendicular. I'll put it in words, since words tend to freak people out worse than symbols. That is perpendicular and goes through, gotta tell you some point, and goes through negative 2, 1. This is a conceptual check. I'll give you a second to write, and then I'll tell you why it's a concept checkpoint. It's kind of like building blocks. First, you have to ask yourself, to find the equation of any line, what do I need? Always the first thing I find is what? The slope. I always need the slope and 1 point to find the equation of a line, don't I? Okay. Part 2 of the concept check. If I have a line, can I identify what the current slope is? What's the current regular slope right now? Okay. If I know that, what will the perpendicular slope be? Okay, opposite, opposite. Change the sign, flip the number. You change the sign and you flip the number. Yeah, and they just tried to trick you. Because in the past, maybe they would have said, it goes through these 2 points. Or in the past, maybe they would have said, oh, your new line has the slope 3/2. But see now how they make you think about it? They make you understand what is perpendicular, because you got to know what the old slope is and then do the stuff to it to make it perpendicular. What if I had said parallel? Okay. But you wouldn't be done, would you? Because once you have the slope, you have to use that slope and your new point to get your new equation. But your process is exactly the same. Nothing else has changed in this whole section. Just the fact that they're going to try to trick you a little bit with getting that slope. So here's my point. You guys like the y minus y1 thing? We'll keep using that then. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. So let's plug in. Let's see. That's x and y. I'm going to say y minus 1 equals 3/2 x minus negative 2. Is that what you guys got? Every time I hit extend page, it's doubling my pages. This is unacceptable. Sorry, guys, for that. I need to just remember it, but I keep forgetting who's doing that. Huh. Is that what you guys are getting? But it's okay, right? It's okay that my y-intercept with the line up here that was in the problem, plus 2, and my y-intercept with this one, it's okay if they don't match, isn't it? We already said that, didn't we? A second ago we were comparing lines. We said, who cares about that number? Who cares about the b? We only care about the slope. I may have made a math mistake, did I? What did I do? Oh, did I not distribute? I can tell you guys are looking at me crazy. Thank you. 3x plus or times 2. What do I get? 3. Okay. So down here it's actually a 4. Thank you guys. You gotta keep me in check sometimes, huh? Okay. Same thing holds though. The b's didn't matter. I mean, you might have lost 2 points from the test just now. You guys can start taking points from me because I have missed 2. Okay. And you can add it to your test grade. Good strategy. Good. They can try to trick you lots. Let me see if I can find one that was harder. I mean, you got to see, though, that they can't get that hard, right? I mean, if you can make the equation of a line, you can do it. The only way they can try to really trip you up is if they word it funny. So I want to turn to the homework and find some that illustrate what I mean. They might have to make you work a lot. Let's see. Look at number 10 on page 277. I'm just going to say this out loud. I'm not going to actually write for this part. Number 10 is the line x equals 4 parallel to the line x equals negative 4. What kind of slope do those two lines have? X equals, really, is that even normal looking? That's an undefined line, isn't it? Undefined slope. Do they both have an equally undefined slope? Sure. We know what it looks like. It's straight vertical up and down, isn't it? Do I need to graph it? You guys okay? It goes through x. One of them goes through x at x equals negative 4. One goes at positive 4. Don't be fooled. It was trying to trick you. Number 10 in your textbook on page 277. When you look at it, let me write it up here. I'm getting expressions that suggest you want to see it.
Well, my question is, since they're going to give you the slope, you don't have to worry about it in that, right?
No, no, no.
Because 4 and negative 4 ain't the same, so it can be perpendicular.
What's the slope here? Normally for slope, you like to look at this, don't you? But, is that a y? Oh, this is one of those problem ones, isn't it? It's one of those lines that's not even a line. There's no y. No y. That makes me think bad things. It helps me remember, though, that it's got an undefined slope. The picture of this thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, does that, remember? That's the kind it's talking about. On this one over here, what's up with that? Does it have a y? No. Does it have a slope? No, and it's not 0, it's undefined. A 0 slope looks very different than an undefined slope. This thing has no y. That is so different. That's so much worse. That's undefined. Let's look at the picture of it. I'm going to draw a line at x equals what? Oh. So they are parallel, aren't they? Did somebody say that a second ago? Okay, they're parallel. In their oddness, they're the same. How wonderful. They're both undefined together. So that's still the same. So let's see. Other ones, I picked that one out because it was tricky, okay? So don't get me wrong. Let's look at number 8. And I think on that one it said, is it parallel? So the answer would have been yes, it's parallel. But on number 8, we have the two lines y equals 1/2. And y equals negative 4. This is a little bit friendlier. I mean, in the sense that normally you look at a line in the form y equals mx plus 4, but it's still a tricky one. That's why I'm doing it with you, because it's not intuitive right away. Throw out my book. Okay, so what's up with these? Are there x's? But there is a y. That's good. That makes us happy. We want a y, right? So it's a happy line. But what in the world would make the x disappear? What would m have to be? 0. They both have flat slopes, don't they? Slope is 0. M equals 0, m equals 0. Are these things parallel or perpendicular? Parallel. Except not spelled that way. On the picture, let's see what we've got. At one, man, let's try that one more time. On the picture, we have y equals 1/2. So right here we have a line going that way. And the other one was negative 4, right? Okay. See how there's no slope? Go back up.
Why are they parallel?
They have no slopes. They're parallel because they both have slopes equal to 0. And on the picture you can see it. That's why I went ahead and graphed it so you can look at it with me. Are there any other tricky ones? Let me see. I think that's it. The hardest thing that you can see other than this right here, these two tricks, is sometimes instead of telling you a point, they could have said, find a line that's perpendicular and has the x-intercept equal to 2. When you're reading problems in either section, I'm about to give you homework to go back through stuff. If someone tells you it goes through, this is just for you to note to help you in case you see it. If it goes through or has an x-intercept, x equals 2. And they may not word it exactly like that. This is the gist of what they'd be trying to say. What is that point? Careful. X is 2, y is 0. Okay. That is so important. They will try to trick you. Sometimes you look at it, you're like, oh, that's just an equation. That's not them telling you an equation, guys. They're telling you it's an intercept. They're telling you a point. One of these letters is equal to 0, the other one's a number. The one they gave you is the one that's the number. The one they didn't give you is the one that's the 0. But watch out for that. It probably won't happen much in this section, but it could happen in 4.5, the previous stuff that we did, as you go through those homeworks and prepare for your test. Okay, so we'll take a 10-minute break and I'll give you a homework assignment. Next class, we will learn 4.7, and we'll talk briefly about a reviewing for the test, because remember that the test in here is in a week. This is it, okay? 10-minute break.